Welcome to Rockstar Productions, where we're going to talk PS5. We finally have an availability date, we finally have a pricing, and we've got to talk about this live stream, at least a little bit. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Gary here from Rockstar Productions. Now, if this is your first time on the channel, I just want to take a second and say thank you for stopping by and checking out our discussion here on the PlayStation 5. If you like what you see here, check out some of the other videos we have. And if you really like what you see, do me a huge favor. Hit that thumbs up button, that subscribe button, and that bell notification. That way you're kept up to date with everything that we have going here on the channel. So we finally have pricing and availability for the Sony PlayStation 5, thanks to today's live stream. Now, I'm going to talk about the live stream just in a broad overview sense, and then we're going to talk about pricing and availability and whether or not I'm going to pre-order one. So we got a lot of gameplay footage during this live stream. One of the most interesting things was the fact that they kicked off the live stream with Final Fantasy. Now, the really interesting thing to me was the fact that not only is my internet sucking and buffering right here, as you can see behind me, I apologize for that, but we saw through this Final Fantasy trailer that there is a PS5 emulator for PC. Not making that up. If you take a look right before they start showing the footage, they show that, or they basically admit that what you are seeing is a representation of what PS5 hardware can do running on PC. So that's interesting of note. We saw a ton of games shown. Again, Final Fantasy. We saw Devil May Cry 5. We saw, just Call of Duty. We saw Miles Morales Spider-Man. What we didn't see are games like Ratchet & Clank. We didn't see Sackboy, so those were very glaring by their absence. We also didn't get a whole lot of a look at the different accessories and add-ons for the PlayStation 5. There was no discussion whatsoever of a PS5 VR. There was no discussion as far as backwards compatibility with the PSVR from the PlayStation 4 and how it would work with this. We didn't get any close-up shots of the camera. We didn't get any close-up shots of the media remote. We did not get any close-up shots of the charging stand for the new PS5 controller. Those were all kind of a little shocking to me. Now, one thing that we did see was there is a new add-on or a new version of PlayStation Plus designed specifically for the PS5. And basically, there is a library of games available right at launch. Some of them were great, such as, again, Ratchet & Clank. Some of them kind of left me scratching my head, kind of like, why are these here? Why are you promoting this as a launch title? But what we did finally get is a key factor to this next generation war. Xbox Series X, $499. PlayStation 5 with a optical disc drive, $499. Same. Even though the Xbox Series X is a slightly more powerful system, the PlayStation 5 is priced exactly the same. So good, bad, and different on that. I would have liked to have seen Sony undercut Microsoft by about $50. That would kind of encapsulate the difference in the price in making it. I understand why they didn't. If you come out at a lower price, it almost kind of tips their hand that, well, it's priced less, and so that way it's less of a machine. I kind of think Microsoft, granted Sony probably already had their minds made up, but the fact that they went with a $499 price point for the Xbox Series X kind of guaranteed that with the PS5, with the optical disc, same again, it was going to be priced exactly the same. Now, one thing that I did think was interesting was the all-digital version of the PlayStation 5 is basically right in the middle between the PS5, Xbox Series X, and the Xbox Series S. The Xbox Series S, $299. The all-digital PS5 is $399. Now, one key thing to remember there, the Xbox Series S, in addition to being digital only, is also not as powerful. So having the PlayStation 5 all-digital version priced a little bit higher than the Xbox Series S but still less than the X and the PS5 makes sense, because the only difference from everything I've seen between the PS5 and the PS5 All Digital Edition is just that disk drive. Everything else is the same. Now, while I do say, and again, my internet sucks behind me, I apologize for that. While I do say that the hardware is in the advantage and in the favor of the Xbox Series X, there are a few issues that the PS5 addresses and improves upon. You see my Wi-Fi issues behind me? Well, I am casting to my TV on a first generation Chromecast, 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is hurting in here. Now, the Xbox Series X actually uses Wi-Fi 5, which tops out at just under 7 megabits per second. I believe it's megabits per second for transmission speed, where the PS5 uses Wi-Fi 6. So that is going to be a faster connection, capable of close to 10 megabits per second transfer speed, and I could definitely use a faster transfer speed here on this setup. Gotta love Comcast. Above and beyond that, you do have a USB-C port for faster data transfer on the PS5, where there are no USB-C ports on the Xbox Series X. So there are some hardware differences in favor of the PlayStation 5. Now, this game behind me, Miles Morales, the Spider-Man game, one of the games at launch I am actually excited about. This is a game that absolutely looks beautiful, and the first game was so much fun. I really enjoyed playing the original Spider-Man. I never finished it, but I will probably do so on a PS5 if I wind up picking one up. There's not as much power behind this launch as I kind of hoped that there would be, although there are still PS5 specific games coming out, unlike the Xbox Series X, where you can get the exact same experience on PC, and you're going to have your Xbox One games that you can also play on it. But as far as a dedicated piece of Xbox Series X software coming out at launch, it's gonna be 6-8 months is what they've said, where you do have PS5 specific software coming out at launch here. So I got a call this afternoon, about an hour before filming this, from my local GameStop, because everything I had read said that pre-orders were going to open tomorrow. Pre-orders opened tonight. So I actually went to my local GameStop store, and yes, I have pre-ordered a PlayStation 5 with an optical drive in it, and I also reserved a couple other items. I reserved this guy here because, again, Spider-Man, such a great game on the PS4. I am looking forward to playing it on the PS5. I also reserved the media remote because, for me, my PlayStation 4 will end up coming into this room. My PlayStation 5 will replace it down in my living room. My PS5 is my Blu-ray drive in the living room. So for me, having that media remote is going to be a big bonus for me. I did also pre-order the charging stand for the controllers. Not sure I'm going to keep that one or not, because we have other great members of the community here, like Retrobit, like Hyperkin, like TTX, like Circa, and they make a lot of those same accessories. So I may opt to go with one of those charging stands if they happen to release one or announce one prior to the launch of the PlayStation 5. Above and beyond that, I didn't order any extra games. I didn't order any extra controllers because I'm the only one going to be playing the system. And at least at launch, this was the only launch title that really kind of, made my spidey senses start to tingle, if that makes sense. And as the only real gamer in the house, at least at this point, I did not see the need to invest in a second controller, at least initially. Now, this is the first PlayStation that I will have actually gotten at launch. I am not counting the PlayStation Mini, but the PlayStation 1, my first PlayStation 1, I actually won in a manager's banquet when I was working for Radio Shack. My PlayStation 2, we used to have a way that you could earn rewards points for different sales goals at Radio Shack. That's how I got my PS2. My PlayStation 3, I bought about a year and a half, 2 years after it launched. It had to have been less than that because I got an 80 gig FAT and it was $4.99. It was before the big price cuts, but it was an 80 gig FAT. My PS4, I got a year later after the Destiny edition was out. That's my version of the PS4 that I have, is the Destiny edition. So this is actually the first PlayStation console I have pre-ordered. And it kind of underscores why I haven't pre-ordered many to date. Again, these launch titles are okay, but they're not great. And I'm actually planning on probably playing more PS4 content on my PlayStation 5 than PS5 content, except for Spider-Man. The one game I cannot wait to play is Ratchet & Clank. I love that series. That will be a day one purchase for me. Some of the other games I don't care about, RPGs, Devil May Cry I've never been invested in. Call of Duty, if there's cross-platform play, I may pick that up to play with my oldest daughter Cassidy because she likes the Call of Duty games and the first-person shooters. I don't need to play Fortnite on it. So for me, the titles were not compelling to get me to invest. What got me to invest was the concern that it may take a while after this initial launch period to get them due to production issues thanks to COVID-19. That is the main reason why I pre-ordered one. So what I want to know from you in the comments section, have you pre-ordered one? Are you going to pre-order one? And if you do, are you going to go with the all-digital version or are you going to go with the one with the disc? Also, what did you think of this presentation? I personally was not a huge fan. I really wanted them to lead with the hardware, to lead with the pricing, and to lead with what's in the box. That's what I wanted to see. They waited until 45, 50 minutes into it, and it just, here's the system, here's the price. It was kind of anticlimactic, especially because most of these games we had either heard of before or we had seen before. Let me know again, what did you think of this presentation? Will you pre-order one? And did this perhaps convince you to go the other way and to go with an Xbox Series S or an Xbox Series S? I, for one, like I said earlier, I do wish that Sony would have undercut Microsoft by $50 on each system. Granted, the all-digital PlayStation 5 is more powerful than the all-digital Xbox Series S, but there are rumors of an Xbox Series V that is essentially a Series X minus the optical drive. So let me know what you think there. If you've got any other comments or questions, as always, you can email me at rocksolidmail@gmail.com. You can send me a message on Twitter at RockSolidStudios. We are on Facebook at facebook.com/RockSolidProductions and Instagram at instagram.com/RockSolidProductionsGK. Coming out on November the 12th, I am probably going to take that day off of work and we are going to do some live streaming. We'll do an unboxing and we are going to show you everything that system comes with. Now, one thing of note, I did ask the manager of my local store if they were planning on a midnight release. He informed me no, because they can only have 10 people in the store at a time and the health department would shut them down if they had people lined up outside, even if they were social distancing. That sucks. I don't like that, but I will, like I say, be probably taking off of work on the 12th so I can produce content, so I can check it out, so I can pick mine up early in the day on launch day. The PlayStation 5 is coming. We have less than 2 months to go. My name is Gary, and this has been Rock Solid Productions. I want to know what you think about the PS5. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you soon. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like to support the future of Rock Solid Productions, you can do so by visiting our Patreon page at patreon.com/rocksolid. For as little as $1 a month, $12 a year, you'll get early access to all of our video content, exclusive content, and a whole lot more. You can also become a channel member here on YouTube for as little as $1.99 a month, and with that, you get a badge next to your name when you comment or post on the channel, and you are acknowledged whether you are a channel member or a Patreon supporter at the end of each and every one of our videos. You can also support the channel by visiting our Teespring store on screen now, where we have t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, masks, cell phone cases, and much more. Everything that we raise gets reinvested right back into the channel so we can make more and better content for you. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon.